Should the Detroit Pistons look to trade Jerami Grant? We'll talk about that on today's episode of the Locked On Pistons podcast.
You are Locked On Pistons, your daily Detroit Pistons podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's the deal? Welcome back to another episode of the Locked On Pistons podcast. This episode is brought to you by TrueBill. TrueBill is the new app that helps save you money by helping you identify and stop paying for the subscriptions you don't want or need, and can even negotiate better deals on those that you want to keep. Go check out TrueBill today. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Locked On Pistons podcast. Thank you for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. I am your host, per usual, Kuka Hill. You can find me over on Twitter at Kuka Hill. Also, you can find the podcast over on YouTube at Locked On Pistons. Make sure you go subscribe to the channel. We are we're closer than we were to 1,000 subscribers. You want to find the best way to support the podcast, just go over to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And happy Thanksgiving, everybody. So before we dive into what I want to talk about today, obviously, the majority of you guys will be listening to this on Thanksgiving. You guys will be remembering. Cool, I thought you said you guys weren't recording on Thanksgiving. I thought you were taking the day off. Technically, I still am. I'm recording this the night before. So what happened was I record the podcast the night before. Tuesday night was supposed to be Wednesday's episode. And in the middle of recording Tuesday night's episode, my dog, me and my fiance's new dog, Oatly, chewed my Ethernet cord. So that was dead. Could not post the next day. I had work the next day, so I had to wait till after, go buy Ethernet cord so I could get all this stuff going still. Because if I don't have an Ethernet cord, the connection sucks and I can't record. So yeah, that's why you're getting one on Thanksgiving. I was going to give you guys a late podcast on Wednesday night, but with the Pistons game going and it being nighttime, I didn't think anyone would really listen to it. So I thought maybe a better option would just give you guys like an early Thanksgiving episode before you guys go and fill your bellies up with all the food for Thanksgiving. But let's go ahead and talk about what we want, some of the things on my mind today. So I'm not going to, when I say this, I'm not trying to call people out, but there is at Woodward Sports, they put out a video, I believe 2 days ago or yesterday when you listen to this, I think it was on Tuesday. They put out a video from one of their commentators. And it basically was asking, should the Pistons move on from Jerami Grant? Should they look to trade Jerami Grant? And basically his answer was yes. He compared it a little bit to the Blake Griffin situation. Don't wait out until and let his value hit zero. Basically, I'm assuming was his point by saying that. And then, ship Jerami Grant out while his value is somewhat still high. And yeah, I just want to talk about that real quick. So again, this is not to call out Woodward Sports or the guy that said it. I don't know his name. Because there's other people that feel this way as well. So it's obviously a topic that's floating around a little bit because, we've had some rumors float out on Twitter as well. And Bleacher Report has floated the idea out there that Jerami Grant may be available. We also heard the Ben Simmons rumors a few weeks ago that the Philadelphia 76ers may take Jerami Grant back in a Ben Simmons trade. All those kind of stuff has made it seem like the Jerami Grant is available. So let me just answer that question first. Do I think Jerami Grant is available? Yes. I think it would be stupid to not have him available. Now, that's different from shopping him. I'm sure he has a price. If a team meets a price that they like, then obviously you trade him. Just about anybody on this team besides Cade Cunningham. Like if a team meets a price, then go get him. He's not one of the untouchables on the team. So yes, do I think he's available? Probably, yeah. I don't think he's untouchable. Do I think the Pistons want to move on from him? Probably not. Him and Troy Weaver have a great relationship. We've talked about many times on the podcast why Jerami Grant signed here, all the outside things, outside of basketball, why he relates to the city, he likes the city, and why he likes representing Detroit, all those kind of things. We've talked about that. But also, let me just point this out, because a lot of, I've seen some people say, I'd rather not have Jerami Grant on his contract. I'd rather just trade him and get some pieces for the future rebuild. So first off, let me bring this up, and I just want to throw that idea to the ground. Jerami Grant's being paid $20 million a year right now. He is on an absolute bargain contract. His contract is a really good one. The Pistons not overpaying on him. This is not a bad contract the Pistons have. This is not a contract that you just want to move off of. Like, this is a legit good contract that any team would be happy to have on their team. That's why he's probably going to be one of the most wanted commodities around the trade deadline, because he's such a good player on such a good contract for his talent level. I don't get that whole little excuse but idea that, we don't want to pay Jerami Grant this much money while he's here. Like, he's on a really good contract. He's only being paid $20 million a year. That's legitimately a really good contract for him. So that right there doesn't make any sense. And two, listen, I've been one of the main ones critiquing his long twos that he's been taking, okay? And I'm not going back on that. It's still stuff that I can't stand watching. Sometimes he goes ISO a little too much, and then he takes way too many long twos. Those are valid criticism of it. I can't stand seeing it. But this is what people and fans need to understand and need to look for. And I realize I get it now that I have some fans defending Jerami Grant so much in my mentions on Twitter, because I now see there's another side to this Jerami Grant argument that I didn't know exists, that apparently just want him off the team and he needs to go because he's hurting the team. I didn't know that side existed, so I get why people are probably trying to even it out a little bit. But I'll just say this. Fans and everyone alike need to understand that this season is going to be tough. The Pistons are going to lose games. They're going to lose a lot of games. They're going to, a lot of times, not be fun to watch. It's a little worse than I expected. I'm not going to lie. I won't lie to you guys. This has been worse than I expected. But this is what's going to happen. It's going to be like this all season. The Pistons' plan is not for this season. Now, you can critique the roster construction this year. You can critique whether this is actually helping development. You can critique all that kind of stuff. But that doesn't change the point that this is not about this season. They're looking for 2 years down the line, 2 to 3 years down the line. I've said 2023, I think, is the year they're looking at. But either way, around that time, Jerami Grant is hopeful to be hopefully he's the third best player on your team. That's like the point of this roster construction. They're hoping that they got Cade, who's supposed to be their main guy. Hopefully they get another guy possibly through free agency or at the top of the draft, which they're probably going to have another pick at the top of the draft this season, maybe even next year, who knows. But they're going to have a lot of cap space, another high draft pick. So hopefully they can get their top 2 guys. And then you got Jerami Grant already on the roster. So the idea that they have to move on from Jerami Grant because he's taking up too many touches this season and whatever. This season doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things in the roster construction kind of idea with Jerami Grant. Because the idea with Jerami Grant is that when you're ready to compete, he's going to be, or ready to take that next step to be a playoff team and legit kind of playoff team, is that he's going to be your third best player in the team on a really good contract, which he is right now. So that's the whole idea behind that. This season, I really don't think this season, or the way he's playing, if people want to call it really, he's really struggling, which he definitely is not playing as well this year. But that's not the long-term outlook. I don't think the Pistons front office really care, to be honest, about how unless he was just stinking the bed and looking awful. I don't think he's looked awful. He's looked worse, but he's not awful. They know the type. He's still the same type of player that will be a third best player on a playoff type of team. That's what they're looking for. So again, do I think he's untouchable? No. Could he be traded? Yeah, he could be traded. But I don't think they're looking to trade him because their idea is still the same, that in 2 to 3 years, he'll be the third best player on this team. And Cade and whoever else will help lead this team to the next step. And he'd be a great third banana, a great person that everyone's going to want on their team, which is why he's such a hot commodity right now to be the third best player on their team. That's the whole point. So that's my thoughts on Jerami Grant and the whole, will the Pistons trade him? Should they trade him? Do I think they should trade him? No, I don't think they should. If there's a good price for him, yeah, trade him. But do I think they should be actively shopping him? No. I think their plan with him is a smart plan. If everything else works out and he actually ends up like the third best player on a legit contending team or a legit playoff team, then I think their plan will make sense and it'll work out. But again, like I said, if a price comes that you can't match, if they can get Ben Simmons for cheap, possibly, I guess they do that. If they can get another, some young guys and some picks that maybe they want for Jerami Grant, then I guess you go and do that. But again, I don't think they should be actively shopping him, and I don't think they are actively shopping him. I don't think it makes sense to. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, or tweet me over at KookieHill on Twitter. But when we come back, we'll talk about some of these games that we saw. Corey Joseph got to start both games, but in the game against the Milwaukee Bucks, he only played 7 minutes, and guess who played 29 minutes? We'll tell you who that was and talk about his game after the ad break. But first, I got to tell you guys about some of our sponsors. First up, let me tell you a little bit about TrueBill. Do you know why free trials renew without your consent? It's a business scam out to get you. Don't let greedy corporations pocket your money. Download TrueBill to take control of your subscriptions today. TrueBill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forgot about. On average, people save up to $720 per year with TrueBill. Because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel, TrueBill makes it incredibly simple, I should say. Just link your accounts in TrueBill or cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. And your TrueBill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions, so you don't have to. TrueBill also has over 2 million users and helps save them over $100 million. Don't fall for the subscription scams. Start canceling today at TrueBill.com/LockedOnNBA. Go right now to TrueBill.com/LockedOnNBA. It can save you thousands a year. That's TrueBill.com/LockedOnNBA. Then let me tell you about another one of our sponsors. It's your guys' favorite sponsor, who I just got a little package from them today. I was having one of their Built Bars. It's your guys' favorite sponsor, Built Bar. I love Thanksgiving, and I hope you guys have a great one today. All the good foods with all the good treats, and there's plenty of them. But maybe one of you guys, and maybe a few of you guys, want a yummy dessert that isn't full of calories and sugar. It's the perfect time and the perfect answer for Built Bars. Built Bar is the new holiday dessert that you guys will all love. Feast on something delicious and feel good about it. One slice of pie has upwards of 300 calories, and that's on the low end. Most Built Bars are only 130 calories and are only 4 grams of sugar with plenty of protein. Replace the coconut cream pie with the coconut Built Bar, or goes for a raspberry Built Bar instead of that raspberry pie. Lots of good flavors to replace any pie. It's low calorie, it's low carb, it's low fat, and it's high in protein. Covered in 100% real chocolate that's soft and easy on the teeth to chew. Built is a great option for when you're hungry. If Thanksgiving isn't coming soon enough, go for a Built Bar or two. Serve some at your family gatherings. It'll make things less awkward, I promise. New surprises all month, limited time flavors arriving at Built.com regularly, so go check the site often. There's nothing like a Built Bar Black Friday. Mark your calendar. Black Friday will be a huge event with all sorts of surprises. So go to Built.com, use promo code LOCK15, and you'll get 15% off your order. Use promo code LOCK15 for 15% off at Built.com. Built Bar, best tasting protein bar ever. So I want to thank you guys again for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. We are free and available on all your podcast platforms. If you want to find the best way to support the podcast, go over to the YouTube channel at Locked On Pistons, subscribe. We just crossed over, I believe, 620 subscribers. Our goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We got just about over a month to go. Help us get there. Go over to the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. It's the best way to support the podcast and support the work that I put into there. So I really appreciate if you guys went and did that. But first, let's talk about this game against the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, since the last podcast, the Pistons have played 2 games. They played one against the Milwaukee Bucks, and they played one against the Miami Heat. Both games, they couldn't get over 100 points. They really missed Isaiah Stewart's interior presence. They also are really missing Killian Hayes as well. It's been a struggle with the injuries, and obviously they're missing Kelly Olynyk, who's their backup center. But really, Kelly Olynyk, we've known that he's going to be out for 6 weeks or so. The losses of Killian Hayes and Isaiah Stewart, I think, are really hurting this team right now. Obviously, Bobby Portis just went out and looked like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar against the Pistons tonight, dropping 28 and 10 points on 6 of 7 from deep, 10 of 14 shooting. He went crazy. You probably aren't going to have that happen if Isaiah Stewart's in the lineup. So that they're really struggling without him. But the good news is on Friday against the Los Angeles Clippers at 3:30 p.m., they are going to have Isaiah Stewart back, and it sounds like they will have Killian Hayes back. We will know for sure by then, though. But in Killian Hayes' absence, the Pistons have elected to start Corey Joseph. And Corey Joseph, I know a lot of you guys don't like Corey Joseph, and I get it. He's a veteran. He's not, he's not what everybody wants to see on the floor. That's for sure. I won't sit here and cap with you guys. He's definitely not what you guys all want to see on the floor. But against the Bucks, he did start, but he only ended up playing 7 minutes. And the reason why that is because you guys' favorite rookie, the guy that everyone's been, or not rookie, second-year player that everyone has been screaming about, the one who's been dropping 40 points in the G League, Saben Lee was able to play 29 minutes last night against the Milwaukee Bucks. He shot 5 of 15 from the floor. Not great at all. But he was a lot more aggressive at getting to the paint, and that's something the Pistons simply just needed. They needed someone who was a little bit more explosive getting to the paint and was able to make kick-out passes, and that was something he was able to do. So the Pistons definitely loved having him out there. And it seemed like when he was out there, the Pistons actually cut into the lead and actually kept the game close. So I think, his plus-minus was even. So it literally was a +0. So the Pistons were pretty in a 21-point loss. They did decent in his 29 minutes on the floor against the reigning champions. He also had 12 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals. Once again, 100%, the Pistons loved his energy and his ability to get to the paint. After completely passing up a wide open 3 a few times in the first 2 or 3 possessions he was on the floor, he ended up taking 7 threes today. He made his first pull-up 3, and then he made one from the corner. So he was shooting confidently. He was feeling himself a little bit, looked a little bit more like the guy in the G League, not efficiency-wise or scoring-wise, it's the confidence-wise. he was playing like that guy that everyone had been seeing in the G League. So that was good to see from him. But I think you're probably going to see that a lot more moving forward with the Pistons. I don't think you're going to see Corey. Well, actually, I won't say I don't think you're going to see, because you may very well still see it. But I think Saben Lee is going to continue to get his shot to stay in the rotation with how he played today last night against the Milwaukee Bucks, combined with how he played in the G League and how he's been playing down there. So I think you guys are going to get to see him moving forward. And I think that's probably the best idea right now. Corey Joseph, he's been very inconsistent this season, which is honestly very shocking for me, because Corey Joseph, I talked about it last year. When he came over from the Sacramento Kings, he played really well off the bench. And I said throughout the offseason, I'd be shocked if he came back, because he really did play well and looked like he could be a backup on some contenders. I thought he could actually contribute to winning teams. And then he looked pretty good in the preseason. And then so far in the regular season, it's been very up and down with him. Very up and down. And I don't get it. It definitely is kind of shocking to see that with him right now. But definitely with the young guy at his heels right now, and a guy that everyone wants to see play, Saben Lee getting a shot at it and playing really well in his shot, you think that you may not see Corey Joseph moving forward, at least for the next few games, while Saben Lee continues to play really well. You assume that would be the case, but we'll see how it goes. I thought Saben Lee looked good again. Like I said, he didn't shoot that well from the field, but they definitely needed his athleticism getting to the paint. He tried to dunk on Giannis, by the way. I don't know if you guys missed that, if you guys saw the game, but he tried to dunk on Giannis legit on a fast break. They called a foul on it, but then the Bucks challenged it and they turned it back. Apparently Giannis got all ball, which that's not a shock. But the fact that Saben was confident enough and ballsy enough, frankly, to try to dunk on Giannis was pretty cool, to be honest. But yeah, I thought Saben Lee played well enough to continue to get minutes. Do I think he'll start next to Cade Cunningham? Probably not. While Killian's out. If Killian does miss Friday's game, I think they'll still do the same thing they did today. They'll start Corey Joseph and play him minimal minutes, unless Saben Lee comes out and just plays like trash. If he does that, he'll probably won't get as many minutes. But as long as Saben Lee continues to play well, I think they'll start Corey Joseph while Killian Hayes is out, and Saben Lee will get a large chunk of the minutes at the backup position. So good for Saben Lee. I know you guys all probably love saying that. I can't blame you guys. And yeah, hopefully we see more Saben Lee moving forward, a little less of Corey Joseph. And yeah, when we come back, we'll talk more about the games that the Pistons play. What are they missing? And from Isaiah Stewart and Killian Hayes. And Cade Cunningham continues to struggle shooting from the floor. Should anybody be worried about this? We'll talk about that when we come back from the ad break. But first, I got to tell you guys about another one of our sponsors, BetOnline AG. It's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. And we all know what that means. Football. And nothing goes better with football than turkey and betting. BetOnline has you covered all holiday season. More props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all the sports action this Thanksgiving. Head to our new, updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus with promo code LOCKEDON to receive your bonus. And it's not just football. BetOnline has pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, even your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. So go download BetOnline and check out the updated desktop or mobile website. Sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus with promo code LOCKEDON to receive your bonus. BetOnline, we're stuffed with deals this Thanksgiving. So again, I want to thank you guys for listening to the podcast, making it your first listen of every single day. We are free and available on all podcast platforms. And again, if you want to find the best way to support the podcast, go over to the YouTube channel at Locked On Pistons. Hit that subscribe button. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We are just crossed over 620 subscribers. So we're getting closer and closer. If we can get there by 2022, that's our goal. So again, if you want to support the podcast and support the work we put in, that would be the best way to do so. I'd really appreciate it. But anyways, what is my mic is like freaking out. Hold on a second. I had to check that out real quick. It's like flashing for a second. I don't get what's happening there. But anyways, by the way, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I know that, you guys may not be listening to this on Thanksgiving because obviously it's Thanksgiving. You guys are with family. You guys may listen to this on Friday, even though I'm posting it on Thursday. But I hope you guys enjoyed Thanksgiving. If you're listening to it after, and if you're listening to before you meet with your family, go have fun with your family and enjoy it. Be thankful for this time. Especially with the last few years we've dealt with from COVID. A lot of people last year just didn't get to meet with their families, didn't get to have a Thanksgiving together. There's a lot of things, it's with the vaccine now, I'm sure has made it available for everybody to go out and get together with their families now. And the restrictions have calmed down a little bit. So again, I think that this past year to make everybody a little bit more thankful of what they got and the family that they have. So again, I hope you guys are really enjoying your Thanksgiving. If you guys listen to this afterwards and, beforehand, make sure you go out there and have fun. I know myself, family gatherings may not be my favorite thing. It can get awkward every now and then, with too many family members that you don't see all that often, just making small talk, whatever. But definitely this year, it's going to be a little different, just appreciative that you have that time with them. So I hope you guys look at it the same way. And also let me know what your guys' favorite Thanksgiving dishes are. What do you guys love about Thanksgiving? What's your guys' favorite foods? I know for me, I'm very simple. I like turkey, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, some rolls, and basically I'm a very simple person. I'm not with the whole combining a bunch of foods on together and just eating all. Like, nah, I'm not with that. I don't really like green bean casserole or anything. I like macaroni and cheese, but I don't like the macaroni and cheese that gets that gets served at my Thanksgiving. So I hope my mom's not listening to this podcast today, because if she hears that, she's not gonna be happy, even though she knows that. But yeah, that's why I'm a very simple person for Thanksgiving. I just like the turkey, mashed potatoes, and sweet potatoes. My mom makes amazing sweet potatoes, though, Mom. So if you're listening to this, I may not like your macaroni, but I love your sweet potatoes. So don't be too mad at me. But yeah, let me know what you guys' favorite Thanksgiving dishes are and what you guys' favorite part of Thanksgiving is every single year. But let's close the podcast out with a little bit more Pistons talk, and then we can all go back and hang out with our families. I got to go out there and help Megan clean up our house. We're having everybody over our house for the very first time on Thanksgiving. That's going to be very interesting. I had to go out there and help her clean up a little bit. But first, before I again get back out there and help her, so Cade Cunningham struggled a little bit over the last few games. Today, he shot 3 of 10 from the field. He did have 8 rebounds and 7 assists, but only 9 points. He has been struggling in the last few games, shooting-wise from the floor. One of the games that he struggled shooting-wise, he had a triple-double in, so he almost had a triple-double last night against the Bucks. In the game against the Lakers, he had 13 points, 12 rebounds, and 10 assists, but he shot 6 of 21 from the field. The game after that against the Miami Heat, he shot 2 of 10 from the field. Excuse me. Part of the issue with Cade right now, and I thought you saw that a little bit with the Miami Heat game and a little bit as well with the Lakers game, you're starting to see him show some rookie mistakes down the line in the fourth quarter. Before that, literally before those 2 games, quite literally, he was one of the best fourth quarter scorers in the entire NBA, one of the best clutch scorers in the entire NBA. I think he was like 4th in clutch scoring before those 2 games. And it was bound to happen. He's a rookie. He's going to go up. He's going to go down. It's going to happen. He wasn't going to be this great all season. It wasn't going to happen like that. And it's still very early in the season. The Pistons are 18 games into the season. So, and he's only played in he didn't even play in all those games. He's only on his 13th game. So we've seen the highs of Cade this season already, the real highs. We've also seen him struggle a little bit as well. So, am I worried about him shooting wise right now? No. Again, he's going to work through it. We've seen him hit 5 threes in a game. There was a stretch there after his first 3 games over the next over the next 7 games, he was shooting 36% from deep, 43% from the field. So that was a good stretch right there. But right now he's back in a little bit of a cold stretch with the Lakers Miami Heat game and the Bucks game. He's definitely struggling a little bit shooting wise. I think something that I don't think a lot of people are bringing up is a clear. Wow, I've been recording this podcast and my hat's like sideways basically. That's great. I think it's very clear he's missing the presence of Killian Hayes. I know a lot of people, before the season were questioning the fit of these two. I think so far when you've seen them play, it's very clear that I think they fit really good together. They play really well off each other, defensively especially. But definitely on offense, Killian takes some of that pressure off of Cade. And the fact that Killian has been able to hit shots, catch and shooting from deep, has opened up the floor for a lot of people and have made it easier for the Pistons offensively. Even though the Pistons suck on offense in general, Killian Hayes has been shooting 39% from deep in the games that he's played. So that's helped him a lot. So if you combine that with the fact that he's able to take some of the playmaking issues off of him, the defensive issues off him, which, by the way, that's another part of his struggles, I feel like. Cade Cunningham has really dealt with foul trouble while Killian Hayes has been out. He had four fouls against the Miami Heat, but he had like 2 quick ones early and then 2 quick ones again in the third that kept him out. He had 3 fouls against the Lakers, but again, I thought he had 2 early as well that kept him out this game. And, it kind of stops him from playing physical on defense. And part of his value is the fact he's able to play on both sides. And, when you take away some of his aggressiveness on one end, you're not getting the full value from Cade. So, and overall, I just feel like he's missing the presence of Killian Hayes. Corey Joseph isn't cutting it. He looked a little bit better with Saben Lee next to him tonight. He found him on a few backdoor cuts. They seem to play pretty well off of each other. So I think part of it definitely is the fact he's missing Killian. And then the other part of it, obviously, is just he's missing shots. Again, I'll continue to say this to you guys. No one should be worried about Cade unless he's incapable of creating his shot. If he's incapable of getting space or creating the shot he wants, that's when you start to worry. If he's running away from, open shots or running away from trying to be aggressive and stuff, then you get worried about Cade. There's nothing to be worried about with Cade right now. If you watch Cade, he looks like the number 1 pick. He's not making shots, but he's creating shots for himself. He's creating open looks. He's creating space. He's getting to the spots he wants every time. Each shot he takes, honestly, just looks really good. It looks really good. He's just missing right now. And, once again, it's going to happen like that. We saw the 7-game stretch, like I said, I brought up, where he was making the shots and everyone was like, oh my God, see, this is our savior. This is what we've been waiting for. It's just about if he's going to hit his shots. Obviously, you can say that for a lot of players, but I feel like there's a lot more that goes into it. Some players miss shots because they can't really create shots and they're not very good at it anyways. Cade is showing that he's a really damn good player. He's just off right now over the past 2 games. I'm not worried about him. He'll be straight. It's once again, it's a rookie season. He's gonna have some ups. He's gonna have some lows. It is what it is. He's adjusting to the NBA. It's not a big deal. And also, the Pistons they're on another tough schedule. They had the Lakers, the Heat, the Bucks. Now they go against the Clippers on the road. So it's like, and the Pistons suck. They're just trash. They go against the Lakers again, then the Trailblazers, Suns. So it's a tough schedule, and the Pistons just suck. There was one play where I forget who it was over in the right corner, but Cade does a phenomenal move, a spin move to shake Drew Holiday off of him completely. Gets to the paint. Excuse me. Gets past Drew Holiday easily, brings the defender in, and makes an incredible kick-out pass to the corner. Great play, and the guy just misses the 3-point shot. There was a lot of times last night against the Bucks as well, where they were trapping him almost every time he came off a screen, and he's making the right play. He's finding an open guy, and the Pistons just can't hit shots. They just suck. It is what it is, man. I'm tired of sugarcoating around it. They suck. They're trash. They're not good. And if it wasn't for the Rockets, they'd probably be the worst team in the entire NBA. That's how bad they are. So it doesn't help. Yeah, he has literally no one to really take pressure off of him. And Jerami Grant has also been really inconsistent this season. So half the time he has him to help take pressure off, half the time he doesn't. Saddiq Bey, another player who's just been extremely up and down, more down than up this season. If you want to be objective, he's been more down and up. So it's just like Cade just doesn't have much help at all in this roster. He's being asked to do a whole ton. The Bally Sports graphic put up a great graphic, I should say. It showed that he's leading all rookies in touches. He's being asked to do a lot, and he doesn't have much help. He's not being helped a lot. And he had 7 assists. He probably should have had like 13. He's finding wide open guys. Guys just can't hit shots, and I mean it is what it is. The Pistons shot 24% from deep last night, 36% from the floor. That's been the storyline of the entire season. The day that the Pistons shoot 40% from the field, everyone's happy, and that's awful. If you can just cross 40%. So I mean, Cade, obviously he has to hit his shots. He's in a little bit off rhythm right now, but he's finding other ways to contribute. He's damn near getting triple doubles while struggling, and he's showing what made him the number 1 overall pick anyway still. So I don't think anyone's really worried about Cade anyways. And the team sucks again. I'll make that known. But that'll be the end of today's podcast. I hope you guys enjoy your guys' Thanksgiving. If you guys are listening before you guys go out with your family, if you already did and you're listening, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Enjoyed the time with your family. And again, let me know what your guys' favorite Thanksgiving dish down below in the comments or over on Twitter at @KukaHill. I want to thank you guys for making Locked On Pistons your first listen of every single day. We are free and available on all your podcast platforms. If you want to find the best way to support the podcast, go over to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button under the YouTube on the YouTube channel. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. We are currently over 620. We got just a little bit over a month to go, so help me get there. I'd really appreciate it. And before we get out of here, I had to tell you guys this, like I do at the end of every podcast. Go and make Locked On Bets your second listen of every single day, your daily one-stop shop for all your gambling needs, hosted by your boy Q with expert analysis and insight from Lee Sterling. It's free and available on all platforms. But Outside of that, I got nothing else for you guys today. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have fun. We'll be back on Friday when the Pistons play against the Los Angeles Clippers. I'll see you guys then. Peace out, everybody. Eat a ton of food. Don't worry about it. And, have fun on Thanksgiving. Peace out, everybody.